I believe that each one of you is here for a reason, and today we're going to talk about something that will empower you to step into your full potential, to embrace the greatness that lies within you. I want to remind you that you are a masterpiece, created with a purpose, destined for greatness. But here's the thing. In order to truly thrive and live your best life, there are certain things that you cannot accept from anyone, no matter who they are or what they say. There are 5 key things that when you stand strong and say, no, not today, you're not just protecting your peace, you're protecting your destiny. I want to share these 5 powerful truths with you, and I believe when you embrace them, you will walk in the fullness of your purpose. So get ready to let go of anything holding you back and step into the life you were meant to live. Respect is a fundamental pillar of healthy relationships, personal growth, and overall well-being. It is the foundation upon which trust is built, and without it, connections begin to falter. When you allow yourself to be disrespected by others, you're not just allowing them to hurt your feelings, you're also giving them permission to undermine your worth. Disrespect can take many forms, from blatant insults to subtle passive-aggressive behavior, and it's something we must refuse to accept at all costs. Learning to protect yourself from it is not about being harsh or combative, but about valuing yourself enough to set healthy boundaries and demand the same respect you would offer others. One of the first things to recognize is that disrespect often stems from others' own insecurities or lack of self-awareness. Sometimes people project their feelings of inadequacy onto others, trying to make themselves feel superior by belittling or dismissing those around them. This behavior says more about them than it does about you. It's critical to understand that their words or actions reflect their internal struggles, not your value. When someone disrespects you, it is not a reflection of who you are as a person, but rather a reflection of their inability to recognize and appreciate your inherent worth. At times, you might be tempted to brush off or tolerate disrespect, thinking it's just part of human interaction, or perhaps you believe the other person didn't mean it in a harmful way. While that may be true in certain cases, there is a fine line between giving someone the benefit of the doubt and tolerating behavior that harms your self-esteem. Even small acts of disrespect, when overlooked repeatedly, can create an environment where you begin to feel small, overlooked, or unworthy. Allowing this behavior to continue unchecked teaches others that it's okay to treat you poorly. And that's a dangerous message to send, both to others and to yourself. Setting boundaries is not just about protecting yourself from others. It's also about protecting your emotional space. Respect is a two-way street. If you want to be treated with kindness and consideration, you must also extend that same courtesy to others. But here's the truth. You are not obligated to tolerate mistreatment, no matter who the person is or what their relationship to you might be. Whether it's a family member, a colleague, or a friend, no one has the right to disregard your dignity, and allowing them to do so robs you of your power. It's important to know that you are worthy of being treated with respect, and that accepting anything less than that is a disservice to yourself. Another thing to consider is that disrespect often wears the mask of familiarity. The people closest to us may be the ones who take us for granted or treat us poorly, believing that their bond with us gives them permission to act with less consideration. Sometimes the ones we care about the most can be the ones who hurt us the most. Not necessarily out of malice, but because they've grown too comfortable with us. It's easy to let down our guard with those we trust, and unfortunately that can lead to behavior that crosses boundaries. However, just because someone is close to you doesn't mean they have the right to take you for granted. In fact, it is even more important to maintain your boundaries and communicate clearly when you feel disrespected. True love and trust don't flourish in environments where one person feels small or unimportant. Understanding your own value is key to not accepting disrespect. When you truly know who you are and understand your worth, it becomes easier to recognize when someone is crossing the line. People can only treat you the way you allow them to treat you. If you don't stand up for yourself and assert your worth, others might not even realize they're overstepping because they're used to testing limits. This is why it's so essential to be clear with your boundaries, even if it means confronting uncomfortable situations. Whether it's asking someone to stop making hurtful jokes, telling them to stop interrupting you, or letting them know that their actions are unacceptable, speaking up is a form of self-respect. The more you stand up for yourself, the less likely people will be to take advantage of your kindness or mistake your patience for weakness. However, standing up for yourself doesn't mean becoming confrontational or aggressive. It means asserting your needs calmly and confidently, without fear of upsetting others. Remember, you have the right to protect your peace and prioritize your mental health. And sometimes protecting yourself means walking away from toxic relationships or distancing yourself from people who continually treat you poorly. No one should have the power to diminish your light or make you feel inferior. Life is too short to tolerate disrespect from anyone, and you have the right to choose who gets to be a part of your life. At the core, refusing to accept disrespect is an act of self-love. It's a declaration that you are worthy of being treated with care, dignity, and kindness. When you allow others to disrespect you, you send the message that you don't value yourself as you should. But when you set clear boundaries and refuse to accept anything less than respect, you show yourself and the world that you understand your worth. This act of self-respect will not only protect your emotional well-being, but will also elevate your confidence and sense of self. Over time, people will come to recognize that you won't tolerate mistreatment, and that, in turn, will lead to healthier, more balanced relationships. In every aspect of life, whether personal or professional, setting boundaries is essential for maintaining your self-respect. Allowing others to mistreat you teaches them that it's acceptable to disregard your feelings, and that only invites more negativity into your life. It can create an environment where your needs are ignored and your voice is silenced. But when you stand firm in your self-respect, you send a clear message that you are not someone to be taken for granted. You create space for healthy, positive relationships to flourish. Relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. We all deserve to be treated with respect, kindness, and consideration. When you refuse to accept anything less, you empower yourself to build relationships that nourish you and contribute to your personal growth. Disrespect will always be present in the world, but how you respond to it will determine the quality of your life. Never accept disrespect from anyone, and always remember that you have the power to demand better for yourself. The world is full of voices, some encouraging, some doubting, and others downright dismissive. But perhaps the most dangerous voice of all is the one inside your own head, the one that tells you that you're not good enough, that you're not capable, or that you'll never achieve your dreams. The moment you accept that doubt as truth is the moment you stop moving toward your potential. You may not always realize it, but doubt has the power to shape your reality in ways that limit your growth, limit your opportunities, and even limit your belief in yourself. It's essential to recognize that doubt in your potential, whether from others or from within, is one of the greatest obstacles you will ever face. And it's one that you must never accept. Doubt, especially self-doubt, is a natural part of the human experience. It's something that everyone encounters at some point in their journey. It's the voice that asks, "Are you sure you're capable of that?" Or, "What if you fail?" These thoughts may come when you're facing a new challenge, pursuing a big dream, or taking a leap of faith. But here's the truth. Doubt is simply a feeling, not a fact. Just because you feel doubt doesn't mean it's a reflection of your reality or your abilities. It's an emotional reaction to the unknown, a defense mechanism against fear. When you begin to accept doubt, it starts to shape the way you see yourself and your potential. Instead of seeing opportunities, you start seeing obstacles. Instead of believing in your growth, you start to fear your limitations. The danger of accepting doubt is that it breeds inaction. When you doubt your potential, You hesitate, you hold back, you make excuses, you tell yourself that you'll start tomorrow or that the timing isn't right. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect time. The only thing that matters is your willingness to take the first step despite the doubt you may feel. The key to overcoming doubt is to recognize that it is a normal part of the journey, but it doesn't have to control your actions. You can choose to move forward anyway, even when the path feels uncertain, even when the voice of doubt is loud in your head. The most successful people in the world are not those who have never experienced doubt, but those who have learned how to face it and push through it. They understand that doubt is a signal to dig deeper, not to turn away. Instead of letting it hold them back, they use it as fuel to work harder, to prove to themselves and to the world that they can achieve greatness. They know that their potential is not determined by their doubts, but by their actions and their mindset. Every time doubt tries to pull them back, they push forward, one step at a time. And you can do the same. It's important to remember that self-doubt is often rooted in comparison. We live in a world where we constantly compare ourselves to others, to their achievements, their lifestyles, and their successes. In doing so, we forget that every person has their own unique journey, their own struggles, and their own set of circumstances. When you measure your worth against someone else's, you are setting yourself up for disappointment and discouragement. Instead of focusing on others' successes, focus on your own growth. Don't judge your progress by where others are, but by where you started and how far you've come. Your potential is not about being better than someone else. It's about being the best version of yourself. Another aspect of accepting doubt is the fear of failure. So often we let the fear of not succeeding prevent us from even trying. But here's the thing, failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every person who has ever achieved something significant has faced failure along the way. The key is not to avoid failure, but to learn from it. When you allow yourself to be afraid of failing, you are giving power to doubt and letting it keep you stuck in place. But when you embrace failure as part of the process, you free yourself to take risks, try new things, and grow in ways you never thought possible. Don't let fear of failure stop you from pursuing your dreams. Failure is simply a lesson in disguise, and each failure is an opportunity to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. The people around you can also play a significant role in the doubt you experience. Sometimes the doubt you feel isn't even your own. It's the doubt projected onto you by others. People who don't believe in your potential, people who tell you it's too hard, too risky, or too unlikely, can be a huge source of discouragement. But here's the thing, other people's opinions of you don't define your worth. Their doubts are not your doubts. Their limitations are not your limitations. The only person whose belief in your potential matters is you. You have the power to decide whether or not you accept someone else's doubt as truth. And let me tell you this, you should never accept it. Others may not see your vision, but that doesn't make it any less real or valid. You are the one who gets to decide what's possible for your life. It's also crucial to recognize that the more you embrace your potential, the more you'll start to notice the small wins. When you stop doubting yourself and start believing in your abilities, you begin to see progress, even in the smallest of steps. These victories, no matter how minor they seem, are proof that you are capable of more than you realize. Every time you take action, no matter how imperfect it may seem, you are moving closer to your goals. Those small wins begin to build momentum, and over time, they will transform into bigger successes. The key is not to wait until you feel completely confident to take the next step. Confidence is built through action, through progress, through stepping out, even when you're uncertain. The truth is, doubt is a part of being human. It will come and go throughout your life. But it's important to understand that just because doubt exists doesn't mean it gets to control your life. You have the power to choose whether or not you accept it. When you face doubt, acknowledge it, but don't let it dictate your decisions. Doubt can be a powerful motivator if you let it be. You can use it as a reminder of your growth and as a challenge to push even harder. Every time you move past doubt, you grow stronger, more resilient, and more certain of your potential. Your true power lies in your ability to press on even when doubt is whispering in your ear. When you refuse to accept doubt in your potential, you open yourself up to endless possibilities and a future that is truly yours to create. Negative energy is one of the most destructive forces in life, and it can seep into every corner of our existence if we let it. It's easy to let negative influences affect us, whether from people, situations, or even our own minds. But the power to protect ourselves from this negativity lies in our ability to recognize it and refuse to accept it. Negative energy can drain your spirit, cloud your judgment, and stop you from reaching your full potential. But here's the truth. You have the power to control what you let into your life, and you don't have to accept negativity from anyone or anything. One of the first things to understand about negative energy is that it's contagious. It spreads quickly, often without us even realizing it. A simple comment, a harsh word, or an overly critical tone can plant seeds of doubt and frustration in your mind. Negative energy isn't always loud or aggressive. Sometimes it's quiet and insidious, creeping into your thoughts in the form of pessimism, fear, and worry. Over time, it chips away at your confidence and starts to dictate your reality. If you are constantly surrounded by negative influences, it becomes difficult to maintain a positive outlook or stay motivated. That's why it's so important to recognize negative energy early and take steps to guard yourself against it. People who radiate negative energy often do so because they are dealing with their own issues or unresolved emotions. They might not even realize how their words and actions are affecting others. However, just because someone is going through their own struggles doesn't mean you have to take on their negative energy. It's easy to fall into the trap of feeling sorry for others, thinking that their problems somehow become your problems. But here's the key. You can offer support and empathy without absorbing their negativity. You can be there for someone without letting their bad mood or pessimistic attitude affect your state of mind. It's important to set boundaries and protect your own peace, even when you're trying to help others. If you're constantly around people who are negative, it will drain your energy and leave you feeling depleted. So it's vital to recognize when it's time to distance yourself from these individuals. Another aspect of negative energy comes from our own thoughts. We are often our own worst critics, and the negative self-talk we engage in can be just as harmful, if not more so, than the negativity we receive from others. It's easy to fall into a pattern of negative thinking, especially when things aren't going the way we expect them to. We begin to doubt ourselves, question our worth, and believe the worst about ourselves and our futures. The truth is, you have the power to control your thoughts. You are not a victim of your mind, and you don't have to accept the negative narratives that run through your head. Just because you think something doesn't make it true. When you catch yourself spiraling into negative thoughts, challenge them. Ask yourself if they are based in reality or if they are just fear and insecurity masquerading as truth. By learning to control your inner dialogue, you can shut down negativity before it takes root and grows. A significant source of negative energy also comes from the environment around us. The places we spend time in, the media we consume, and the people we interact with all contribute to the energy we take on. If you're constantly in an environment that is filled with tension, criticism, or negativity, it will start to seep into your own life. You may not even realize how much it's affecting you until you start feeling drained or discouraged. That's why it's so important to curate your environment intentionally. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who encourage your growth, and who share your positive outlook on life. Seek out spaces that inspire you and make you feel good about yourself. The more you create a positive environment for yourself, the more your energy will align with that positivity. It's also essential to recognize that not all negativity is blatant or obvious. Sometimes negative energy manifests in subtle ways, like gossip or passive-aggressive behavior. You may encounter situations where people talk behind others' backs, make snide remarks, or try to bring you down by comparing you to others. This kind of negative energy can be especially damaging because it's often masked in the form of casual conversation or humor. But just because someone is disguising their negativity in a lighthearted way doesn't make it any less toxic. If you allow yourself to engage with these types of conversations or behaviors, you're inviting negativity into your life. It's important to stay true to your values and refuse to participate in or accept this kind of energy. Even if it's coming from someone you care about, don't allow yourself to become involved in negativity that doesn't serve you. When you allow negative energy to persist in your life, it can have a profound impact on your physical and emotional health. Stress, anxiety, and even physical fatigue can result from absorbing negativity, whether it's from others or from within yourself. The constant drain of negative energy can leave you feeling unmotivated, exhausted, and disconnected from your purpose. But when you make the conscious decision to eliminate negative energy from your life, you create space for positivity, joy, and peace to flourish. Your mental health improves, your relationships become healthier, and your overall sense of well-being strengthens. The energy you allow into your life shapes your reality, so it's important to fill your life with the things that uplift you. One of the most powerful tools for blocking negative energy is gratitude. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you shift your perspective and reduce the impact of negative influences. Gratitude helps you stay grounded in positivity and reminds you of the abundance in your life. When you make gratitude a daily practice, it becomes easier to ward off negative energy because your focus is on the good, the beautiful, and the uplifting things around you. Gratitude brings light into your life, and where there's light, darkness cannot thrive. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the less space there is for negativity to take root. Letting go of negative energy also means letting go of things that no longer serve you, past hurts, grudges, regrets, and fears. Holding on to these negative emotions only ties you to the past and prevents you from moving forward. If you're holding on to old wounds or anger, you're allowing those negative emotions to continue influencing your present and future. It's essential to forgive, not for the other person, but for your own peace of mind. Letting go of negativity means freeing yourself from the chains of the past and creating room for new, positive experiences to enter your life. Holding on to bitterness or resentment only keeps you stuck in a negative energy loop. When you release it, you open yourself up to healing and growth. The choice to never accept negative energy is a powerful one. It's a decision to take control of your life, to protect your peace, and to surround yourself with the things that nourish your soul. Negative energy will always be around you. That's an unavoidable part of life. But you get to decide whether you accept it or let it go. You have the power to guard your energy, to protect your peace, and to choose positivity. By doing so, you set yourself up for a life that is filled with joy, growth, and fulfillment. I want to leave you with this today. You are stronger than you realize, and your worth is beyond measure. There is no room in your life for disrespect, doubt, negativity, or anything else that tries to hold you back from the amazing life you're meant to live. You have a destiny that is waiting for you to step into it with confidence, with peace, and with unwavering belief in yourself. As you move forward, remember, you have the power to set boundaries, to protect your heart, and to say no to anything that doesn't align with the greatness inside of you. So I encourage you today to walk boldly in your purpose, to believe in your potential, and to never accept anything less than what you deserve. The best is yet to come, and it's all in your hands. You've got this.